Well, good morning, everybody. I'm Steve Wright, and I'm the statewide director of the ICT sector team of the California Community Colleges. And I like to remind people that these webinars are brought to you by our entire ICT sector team, all of our regional directors. Let me see if I get to the next. Yeah, there they are. And Nicole Sherman, at the bottom right there, produces all of this, and it's really been a wonderful experience for a number of years now doing this. And as a matter of fact, we've currently got over 50 webinars, and they're just really a great resource and relevant to a lot of our faculty. We've done surveys, and about 40% of our viewers view it after this real-time event right now. So that's a lot of people that find value in the way that we transcribe and provide all the materials later for their classroom. We'll always get the question during the presentation, are you recording this? We get it later. Like, yeah. And the transcript and all the slides. It's really a good thing. Okay. You see what I do next. Yeah. So coming up in the next, we're skipping next week because of that new combination of President's Day and Valentine's Day all in one long weekend. We figure people would be too confused to log in on Friday. So we're going to skip to February 19th, Cisco's Talent Bridge program. And then on the February 26th, Robert Haft will be back to talk about hiring trends in creative, as in digital media, as well as IT jobs. And today is going to be interesting. ISACA is an impressive organization and academic partner that's also actively promotes industry engagement. We'll be hearing about their robust certification program and the 6 regional chapters in California, as well as the 220 chapters worldwide. For those of you in the community colleges that are looking to differentiate your online IT offerings in this increasingly virtual academic environment, it may be a real opportunity to consider ISACA. And I know we have lots of other certification providers that we work with, and we think they're pretty cool, and they are. And so right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop sharing, and I'm going to turn it over to AJ to tell us about ISACA and what's going on.
Sure, absolutely. Thank you, Steve, and pleasure to meet all of you. Happy Friday. And give me a moment, I'll share my screen and we can get started. Well, today I want to provide all of you an opportunity to learn a little bit more about ISACA, what we're doing globally around the advancement of the field of IT, the power of our community, and then kind of the approach that we're looking to take towards the academic and workforce development market. And then also, most importantly, also to introduce you to our California chapter members so you can get a good feel of the type of work our chapter members are doing directly in your home state of California. So at our core, we are a learning company. We're a global learning and certification body. We were founded in 1969. We have over 150,000 active members around the world and over 500,000 engaged professionals with 224 chapters in 188 countries. Some of the things that we're really most proud of, because we are a nonprofit, we were recognized as one of the most important industry associations of the last 30 years in 2019. Just really, obviously committed to the field of IT, but really committed to the communities we serve. We also have a standalone nonprofit that's part of, standalone to ISACA that aligns with our vision. It's called One in Tech, and our mission there is to really build a healthy digital world that's safe, secure, and accessible for all, and making sure we're reaching out to communities and those that do not have access to technology or potential learning pathways and programs. And One in Tech ties into some of the stuff that we'd be talking about today because we do collaborate with them a lot on workforce development or academic initiatives, depending upon some of the institutions that we work with based on their learning objectives or their outcomes. So we're a global community that I talked about earlier. This just kind of helps give you guys, everyone on the this call, a perspective of, of our reach globally. So you can see we're everywhere in the world, and I think our two fastest growing markets are in Asia and in Africa. And our largest chapter is one of our largest chapters is here in California, our LA chapter. So a little bit about ISACA in California by the numbers. There's 15,000 engaged professionals, little over 6,000 active members. We have 6 chapters in the state: LA, San Francisco, Orange County, Sacramento, Silicon Valley, and San Diego. And we represent close to 4,000 unique California companies where our members work. Some of them are universities, then we represent all major industries in the state, from media, entertainment, financial services, agriculture, public works, and technology, just to name a few. And what I was talking about earlier, obviously we're being an association and a membership organization, there's a committed focus to supporting our communities. The California chapters have done thousands of hours of community service, engaged in mentorship and internship opportunities, and support for ISACA on campus student groups. So some of the work that I was talking about earlier around a connected community through volunteerism. This is just some our members at work in our local communities, and some of the initiatives they like to focus on are things within the environment, children and youth, and civic and community activities. And as it relates to our certifications, we have 6 core certifications and 2 more that are launching later this year that actually have a great deal of relevancy to the academic market, which I'll be talking about a little later. 3 of our 6 certifications here are in the top 10 for highest ranking IT certifications. That's our CISM, our CRISC, and our CISA certifications. So the next piece of the presentation, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about our market trends and our approach towards the academic and learning space. So, and kind of in my core responsibility, I'm looking at how to evolve and develop ISACA strategy for the academic and workforce development markets. These are the 3 pillars and philosophies that I like to that kind of guide us in the strategic direction. One, it's continuously innovating and establishing new models of learning that address the needs of today's workforce and their future employers. And then the areas within the education market is higher education, K-12, upskilling, reskilling adult education, and then some collaboration with potential publishing companies and leading technology organizations around joint custom development programs. And I think number 3 is more paramount than anything. It's just making sure whatever we're doing, we're taking a thought leadership position in the markets and working with universities, foundations, and corporations that share in our vision. And I think that second check mark there is what's truly the most important, is staying true to our mission. So some of the things that are driving these opportunities and the model that we're putting together for the academic market, it's really core to the forces that are impacting the future of work. Those of you all at universities are really attuned to all this, but labor markets are under strain and talents underutilized. Skills, jobs, and locations do not always match. And then organizations must adapt to a culture of continuous and ongoing learning. So I won't read these to you, but these are kind of the 6-7 drivers that are impacting the future of work. And when we view ourselves as a learning organization, we really feel like it goes beyond the certification, but our power of our community is, with their 150,000 members, we have professionals that are committed to advancing the profession and making sure once our members obtain certifications, we build a healthy ecosystem that leads to outcomes and employable opportunities. So this just kind of ties to the slide I was talking about earlier around when organizations hire people, they recognize that they necessarily don't have the pre-qualified skills for the role. So that's where our certification programs can come in, and what we're working to do is to fill that gap. So these are the learning channels that I talked about earlier. I think the last one is what's also important is the career readiness outcomes that we're focused on, which I'll talk about next. So this is the model that we've put in place and that we're building right now. This past year in 2020, we were in a pilot format. And I'll show you guys a short video of what we're doing, but we have what we do, we have a model that's put in place to partner with academic institutions or workforce development agencies where ISACA develops and delivers curriculum. And then we leverage our ISACA Global and our local chapters here in this instance, would be our California chapters, to help serve for a source for local instructors, mentorship, and potential internship opportunities. And obviously there is opportunity to engage with chapters beyond California or internship opportunities, given some of the things that are happening with COVID and opportunities that we're finding where, that employers or mentors can be anywhere in the world. And then the third bucket there is one in tech. What we're finding is certain companies want to run specific programs through potentially community colleges or standalone for scholarships, internships, or mentoring. So this is where our foundation comes in play. And so what I'll do is I'll show you guys a short video that will touch on this model and what we did actually with the City Colleges of Chicago, which is the entire community college network in the city of Chicago. Give me one moment. Can you guys see the video by chance? Okay.
No, can't see the video yet.
You can't, right? Okay, let me stop share and have the video play. Give me one moment.
ISACA's new Cybersecurity Fundamentals and Career Development Program is essential for college students that want to take a giant step toward a career in cybersecurity, a field in which there is a major shortage of qualified professionals. This course is designed to offer insight into the importance of cybersecurity and the integral role of the cybersecurity professional. The Cybersecurity Fundamentals and Career Development course covers the following key areas: cybersecurity architecture principles, security of networks, system, applications, and data, incident response, the security implications of the adoption of emerging technologies. The course also covers the important non-technical skills needed to be successful, such as communication, teamwork, and problem-solving concepts. In collaboration with ISACA's One in Tech Foundation and the City Colleges of Chicago, ISACA recently concluded a 14-week pilot of this cybersecurity course. In addition to learning key cybersecurity concepts, students gained a one-year ISACA student membership, which includes membership to the ISACA Chicago chapter, access to ISACA's community of IT professionals, and the discussion forums on the Engage platform, and free registration for ISACA's CSX Cybersecurity Fundamental Certificate exam, all with the goal of equipping them for career success in the cybersecurity industry.
I think it's a great model. The CSX Fundamentals course represents a promising collaboration between ISACA and the academic community. Cybersecurity education is not only important for companies to protect their crown jewels and for cybersecurity professionals. It is also important, and especially nowadays, for each one of us to educate ourselves on cyber hygiene, on cyber threats, and online safety. ISACA's expertise in those foundational building blocks is especially valuable for anyone interested in the cybersecurity field.
This program was an excellent fit. ISACA is dedicated to the same mission we have of giving underrepresented people opportunities in cybersecurity. We also work to stay as current with the industry as we possibly can, and ISACA is clearly on the cutting edge.
This course is especially valuable in helping students determine if they have a true passion for cybersecurity. The ISACA Cybersecurity course can be a launchpad for students who are not only drawn to cybersecurity because of its pay rates, but who are also anxious to learn from the instructors and mentors who work in the field. People with this foundation start building camaraderie. They connect around the segments of the industry they're most passionate about. That's when you start to see advanced growth. They start peer-to-peer learning and immersing themselves in the industry, and that's exciting to see.
The ISACA's mentorship program called GROW has proven popular. Lots of people are interested in being mentored. Lots of our members are interested in giving back and mentoring others, which is absolutely fantastic. The students from the city colleges of Chicago can benefit from this. I think those connections can be unbelievably helpful for their careers.
My name is Kumararaj Govindasamy. I currently work as a Director of Internal Audit at CNA Insurance. I am the instructor for this class. Networking with the professionals in the field can make all the difference to aspiring professionals who are interested in internships and other paths to gain a foothold in the cybersecurity field.
Even technically skilled cybersecurity professionals often fail to reach their potential because they struggle to communicate well across the organization. The inclusion of soft skill development within the program is a huge plus and definitely a great benefit.
If you're interested in an academic program collaboration with ISACA, contact Ajay Barot, ISACA's Vice President of Strategic Partnerships and Business Development at abarot@isaca.org. Visit isaca.org/go/cybersecurity-career-development to learn more.
Okay, I'll go back. Let me go back to the presentation here.
That was pretty good, AJ. I like that.
Oh, thank you. So the idea of what I wanted to kind of show, and sometimes a PowerPoint slide, or hopefully the video did, is, it's not just our learning and certification programs themselves, but it's what we're trying to do to ensure that we're leveraging, our community and to serve as mentors to the students, to gain insights into the profession that I know some of our California chapter members who are going to talk next can touch upon, but kind of that mentorship aspect. But then also, obviously, we're committed to the cause of making sure we develop a healthy workforce. And for those that once they obtain certifications, it leads to employment outcomes. That's where we're trying to tie all this together, and then also leveraging the One in Tech Foundation for certain things, because depending upon the community and the demographic, it's beyond technical skills, but there's some soft skills and other developments that groups might benefit from. So that's what we're trying to put together. And some of it is all modular depending upon the academic institution or the workforce development agency's needs. But overall, this is kind of the entire life cycle in a nutshell. So I will move over. These are what I'm touching on here. And for those interested in learning more, I can send them more information. But we're developing right now, this video was on our cybersecurity domains. We also have developed 2 product suites that are particularly relevant to, I would call the academic and workforce development markets globally. And these are stackable certificates that lead to certification. One's around what we're calling an IT Associates product suite, and the other one's an Emerging Technologies product suite. And the IT Associates covers things like computing concepts, network and infrastructure, information security, software development, and data science. And the other one is Emerging Tech, which covers blockchain, IoT, cloud computing, and AI. And so all these, once if you can take a stackable certificate, and then once you attained 4 of these, then you, let's say, develop obtain an emerging technology certification. So we actually developed these specifically with this model in mind, based upon where hiring requirements are with corporations, and also based on the learning needs and objectives of learners. And then these are also just some one in tech programs that we're running that can align. So these would be things with our She Leads Tech to help get women in the technology field. We Lead Tech, which is creating pathways for racially and culturally diverse workforce. And then the other one's the one in tech, young leaders in tech. So just to give you guys some background there. And then on the program components that I was touching on earlier around IT associates and emerging tech, these can be live instructor-led virtual classes in a classroom setting once things get back to normal, but these can be done virtually as well as computer-based. And then there's study guides, there's instructor teacher's notes. There's models where our ISACA members can serve as instructors, which was the example at city colleges. So this is just kind of everything we do. And then also, this is not just knowledge-based. Our certifications, there's a strong performance-based component. So each training module includes content and hands-on labs. So that's kind of what where our certifications or our learning programs differ from others in the market. So from here, I'll turn it over to our California chapter members, and I'll let them introduce themselves. But we have 5 chapter members here with you today: Jason James, John Lazar, Anisha Tekvani, Trin No, and Anjali Atanasio. And from here, I will turn it over to them to introduce themselves and talk about their roles with our chapters.
Thank you. So yes, my name is Jason James. I'm in the Orange County chapter, which covers everything south of LA, everything north of San Diego, and sort of also includes some of the Riverside area. But obviously traveling, when we were a face-to-face chapter, traveling was somewhat a little difficult, but now that we're virtual, we find that a lot more people are getting included. I've been the past president of marketing, sponsorship programs, and membership chair, and it's because of the fact that I found so much value in the chapter that I've continued to sort of re-engage myself in the various leadership positions. I am obviously from the UK, and I moved over here with IBM, so I wasn't traditional sort of IT security, IT audit, or IT compliance. I really was more of a sort of a software developer. But by joining professional services firm over here, it was suggested that ISACA would actually be a sort of a great organization for me. One, to sort of meet people who were in this new profession I was interested in, which was IT security and compliance. But also to get my CISA, which is a certification that was very relevant to the sort of Sarbanes-Oxley era, where public companies were, now being assessed by the CPA firms, and I was working on that internal audit, IT audit function. So of course I sat the CISA, joined the chapter, but then I realized that the association was probably as powerful as the certification, because I was now mixing with individuals, not only from the companies that I was being placed at by the professional services firm, but also by people way above my level. I was relatively new in that industry, so I didn't really have a resume to speak to. And now I'm sitting with sort of hiring managers, directors, partners of big 4 CPA firms in a sort of a, peer-to-peer environment around tables, both learning from them and sometimes with them. So I found it very, very useful. One of the other things that I've sort of enjoyed from my membership of ISACA is the ability to travel around the US and going to various conferences that obviously it's, time permitting, but and a lot of those conferences are now virtual, which is even more valuable. But my ability to sort of press the flesh outside of the Orange County market has been really, really good. The chapter, we have about 900 members. We run a lot of conferences. They're typically based on what is relevant, what do people need to know. So CCPA, which is the California Privacy, has been a big thing for us. We've run 2 conferences now annually. And a lot of the training, we obviously try to promote the training as much as possible because it's so valuable to our members. And we've been doing that recently free because we haven't been carrying the cost of running an event at a local location. From a student outreach point of view, I have personally presented at Long Beach, at Fullerton, at Irvine, and a number of other colleges. I've been on the board of several online colleges as far as promoting and increasing their cybersecurity programs. We get involved in walking wardrobe and veteran programs. And just one final thing we've done for the students, we've done resume writing, we've done career meet the firms, we've done interview techniques, and we try to bring as many students in as often as possible, giving them a free table and encouraging them to participate. And the picture behind me was an event we held where students were invited from a variety of colleges to learn how to do interviewing and resume techniques. Thank you.
Great. Thank you.
That's terrific.
Hello, my name is John Lazar. I am the Academic Relations Director of ISACA Silicon Valley. I am currently an IT auditor as well for a small consulting firm called Excel Global Risk Solutions. I was born and raised in the Bay Area, and my certifications, I have a CISA and a cybersecurity audit certificate. So my story is sort of what ISACA globally would hope for in a student. So I started out as a student at San Jose State University. I graduated in 2016. I got a bachelor's in accounting information systems. So I started as a student member for ISACA San Jose State in my 3rd to last year. I joined a board in my last year as a secretary. Then I became their external vice president. At the same time, I started volunteering for ISACA Silicon Valley. I met some great people, and the reason it's a pretty nice story because thanks to volunteering, I got my first job and my 3rd job with them, which is my current job. So, if it wasn't for ISACA, I don't know if where I would have been. I didn't have as great of a GPA as other students that I graduated with. It was tough getting a job. And, but thanks to ISACA, I attended a certification course for the CISA, and I met my first boss, and that, really propelled my career. And I took a CISA certification course, which helped me learn more information. And, it looks pretty good too, especially if a student wants to pursue that. Yeah, so about ISACA Silicon Valley Academic Relations, we provide $1,500 to ISACA SJSU for a research competition that happens twice a year. We reimburse most of the student membership, and we have a mentorship program as well, where students could sign up for whatever career they want to get into in IT, and we match them with a professional in our chapter. And on our website for ISACA Silicon Valley, we also have a job portal where if a job or an internship is posted, students could look into it. And for high schools, we also sponsor hackathons. One of them was at Symantec headquarters, and it was girls only, and there were over 90 girls. And there's my email at the bottom if you want to contact me.
Great.
Wow.
Great. Thank you, John.
Thank you, John.
Yeah.
Anisha? Okay.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Anisha Tekwani. Just like John, I'm also a board member with the ISACA Silicon Valley. So I've been involved with ISACA for over 7 years now. Currently, I'm working with Oracle on a privacy role. In fact, my last 2 positions, was as a result of ISACA, and people that I worked with or people I ended up meeting through ISACA. So certainly, it's been a great opportunity to meet people and network and just be involved in the program. In terms of ISACA, obviously for me has provided a lot. The knowledge that we get, typically we have monthly sessions when it's live, but currently we're doing online webinars weekly, in fact, and they're free. In fact, we have members and even non-members joining the webinars at no charge. So we do offer CPs as well for those. For me, of course, it's provided career opportunity and getting involved in the community and mentoring. So previously, currently I'm a treasurer with ISACA Silicon Valley. Previously, I've also been the academic relations board member, and I worked closely with the students at ISJSU, which is the local college here that we're closely tied with. Also, we have mentored, or I have personally mentored a lot of students. And as John mentioned, we do support various activities within the ISAC SJSU chapter. We're also expanding to other colleges or reaching out to other colleges to have this close partnership. And of course, Ajay talked about the One in Tech program. So, I'm chaperoning that as well and focusing on She Leads Tech as well. In fact, all three, young leaders in tech. So we're looking at, putting additional activities, working with not only college students, but also at younger levels. And we've in the past several years, we've sponsored a number of hackathon, one of which was a 24-hour hackathon with over 100 students with judging and rewards. So currently, I did mention we're doing webinars on a weekly basis, so students can join, and of course, any other member and or non-members can join. And we do offer also a raffle as part of that. And we also have opportunities for students to volunteer in number of partnership we have with IIA, which is Institute of Internal Auditors, Cybersecurity Summit, NGN, which is a non-for-profit that is focused currently on high schools, but they're a non-for-profit that educates high school students on 21 global issues. And then, of course, we also have Job Board for internships and other opportunities. So all in all, there is a lot of opportunity for students to get involved and also work in partnership with Silicon Valley chapter.
Great. That was great. Thanks, Anisha.
Sure.
Hi. So, hi. Good morning, everyone. So I'm Trin Yo, and I'm from the Sacramento chapter, and our chapter is about a 50 radius around Sacramento. And so I myself have a very long career in IT. I actually started in financial services. I have background in the bulk electric utility industry and recently healthcare. I actually attended community college early on. So I'm so glad that I was invited to do this. I attended community college and it really helped. And then I went on to get my bachelor's and my master's. But community college is where I actually learned how to interact with people, from different backgrounds. And here at ISACA Sacramento, we have the same. We have a lot of people from different backgrounds, some in security, some in audit, some in different fields and different industries. As you can see from our board, right, we have 4 CISOs, some in education. We actually have 2 CISOs from one from the UC Merced and the other one from the University of Pacific. So we have a CTO from IBM. We have a CEO who actually owns his own technology consulting company. And so we have a very diverse group. What we like to do is we like to actually do a lot of training and educational programs. So we do a lot of webinars. We provide training on our CISA, our CISM, our CRIS, right? We're actually adding the CSXP training, which is a great one for community college students because you don't have to have a certain number of years of experience. You can take that training and then go get the certification. Right? And then you can go ahead and put that on your resume. I'm actually certified in the CISA, CISM, CRIS, CDPSE, which is the new one, and I'm working on the CGUIDE right now. I think it's really, really beneficial because when you go and you talk to, potential employers or internships, even if you take that, so for community college students, if they don't have the experience, they can actually test, they can sit and test for the exam, pass it, and then once they have the years of experience, they can get their certification. But if you sit in an interview and you can talk about that, right, and you can explain it, employees are always looking for that. We're always looking for people who understand. I mean, I know that when I interview a lot of, internship candidates, and one of the things that, that really impresses me about a candidate is, are they doing above and beyond? Are they just going to class, or are they doing other things, outside of that to increase their knowledge, increase their, awareness, networking, right? If they know people in the industry, which are, our events allow them to do, right? And so we do a lot of that. One of the things that we really wanted to add on to a student program, and we're kind of building that out right now. So this is a great time to interact with us because we would love to have the community colleges talk to us about what makes sense for them, what would be of value, what would benefit. One of the things that we do is if you're a student and you volunteer with us, we will actually credit you back your membership fee, right? So if you volunteer with us, we'll reimburse you on your membership. And it's really a great opportunity. So they get to volunteer, so they get to have experience, and they get to meet, they get to network, and then we'll assist them, with just internship opportunities. We have a lot of people on our in our chapter and on our board who actually are decision makers around employment. Okay? So the Sacramento chapter, where we just are really excited about our student program. We're looking to build it out and advance it. So if you're in the Sacramento area, please feel free to contact me or to contact our Director of Academic Relations. It's on our website. And I think, AJ, I can provide that. I'll provide that in the chat. But we're always looking to expand the program, and we're looking to build it out. So this is a great time to get together. So thank you.
Great, thanks, Trin. Okay, and over to you, Anjali. Okay.
You're on mute.
Hi, everyone. I'm Anjali Atanasio, and greetings from the San Francisco Bay Area, where it is sunny today. So I'm not complaining, I'm just going to smile. So I'm actually CISO advisor security strategist, and basically because of my more than 20 years of cybersecurity and risk management in the area, and where I have been exposed to different industries from banking, healthcare, telecommunications, and work at all these companies like Visa, Chevron, I came to a point in my life, from being like a security engineer, administrator, policymaker. Then you become a strategist, and now advisor to the chief information security officers. So I'm very, very happy that I am now in that stage in my life. But I would say that throughout my career, ISACA has been has been part of my growth career-wise, and contributed to a lot of my knowledge, and also because of my exposure to the different educational opportunities, and all the different networking and meeting people, and having the chance to work with all these different kinds of people in the industry, be it in audit, information security. It really helped me in my career growth, and I'm happy with that. I have been with ISACA for more than 15 years, and I am currently the immediate past president. What that means is I was the president before the new president now. But I'm still a member of the board, and I'm still continuing to volunteer. ISACA is a volunteer organization. We are not a not for profit. Therefore, we rely on what the volunteers provide. And I have led certification review classes for CISA, the certification for audit, and then the CISM, which is for management professionals. And when I got my own certifications, actually, I realized that, hey, I now validated and confirmed what my knowledge is, and I joined and volunteered to be part of the doing review sessions with those who are planning to take the exam and be able to contribute to it. And then especially for those who don't really have so much money to pay for professional exam reviews. So it helped. So I've done that for more than 7 years, and I'm happy and felt good every time those who pass the exam, we are notified or we learn about it. So I'm excited about that. But we offer a lot of, but because it offers a lot of resources, as far as, publications, what's this, news links, conferences, and certifications, I really am very happy to be part of ISACA, especially getting your continuing education credits, which you need to. So the chapter is one of the earliest chapters, actually, after LA. Los Angeles is actually the first one, I think. And we are actually celebrating our 46th year now. And we have 1,200 members from all over the San Francisco Bay Area. And I know the Silicon Valley is our neighbor and supposedly our sister chapter, but it's because, the traffic in the San Francisco Bay Area, we just want to make sure that it's we cover all the bases, so to speak. So we have the Silicon Valley, and then we have the San Francisco, but we welcome everybody, even if you're from the Silicon Valley. And most of those people are with certifications in the CISA, CISM, CIRES, Seagate, as Ajay had mentioned and enumerated all those different certifications that is being offered. So as I said, the volunteers really help make the chapter operate, and there are various roles. And these are from board of director, president, vice president, treasurer. You can also lead to a committee. Committees are really created sometimes as the need and requirements or what evolves at that moment in time or that year. And we have monthly education sessions on various topics. Some of those are things that we ourselves look for or have been recommended by the members. And the most exciting thing that we do every year is we have our annual fall conference. It's a three-day, normally in Hotel Nico in San Francisco. And we now are on our 21st year. We also provide networking events where, people just congregate have some drinks and hors d'oeuvres and just get to know each other and do some exchange of various topics. And we do community volunteer program. And last year, actually, we helped a not-for-profit for the youth, where we help them in their garden to plant some plants that they can sell and generate some money from it. So our plan for this year and onwards is to continue all of these things that we're doing now, but at the same time, and tying up with the community colleges, is to revive our outreach program to students and academic institutions. And hopefully we'll have the chance to work with you in the community colleges area and see what we can do together and plan on how we can be of benefit to you guys. And then we're resuming our certification review classes and continue partnership and collaboration with other professional organizations. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Anjali. Okay, good. So I will stop sharing my screen here. And then, so I guess, I want to, now that we've concluded the presentation, kind of, Steve, open it up to any questions. And, obviously, we covered a lot in the first half in terms of our potential models and offerings for the academic market. So post this, if there are obviously any questions, my contact information is here and happy to engage with you guys further.
Yeah, and we encourage anybody, if you have a question, you'd rather put it in chat, please go ahead and do that now. We'll open it up for questions in just a second. But first, I want to say thank you. I mean, AJ, when we first talked about this, I mentioned to you, I said, oh, by the way, one of the things I find this unique about ISACA is this ongoing business community engagement you have. Would it be possible to get maybe somebody? And you look at it, you got 5 of them, and they're terrific. And Jason, John, Anisha, Trin, Anjali, thank you so much. I think that one of the things in the community college system that we forget is how to connect with people out there. We get on our campus, we got our students, and it takes up all our time. And to have an organization like yours that can help us bridge that gap. And John, your comments about a student perspective in Silicon Valley, was really right on. We see a lot of just amazing stories of people who make it, and we're always greatly heartened by that. So hearing things like that really help us a lot. Now I see Henry is on here from Orange County, and Henry, I don't know if you want to speak up or not, but you've had a lot of innovative IT programs. Are you currently involved with ISACA, and do you? Or what's your take? Because I mean, Orange County sounds like it's a hotbed of this. Are you able to respond? Put Henry on the spot a lot. We've had him as a speaker here before, and he's pretty good with a comment. But, all right, Henry, if you get to that, go ahead and let me know. Anybody else have? See, we've got some questions here. Okay, good. They're coming in. Is there a cost associated with becoming an academic partner? Yeah, that's a good question. Because I mean, we do have access to funding in different forms, but what's the practical side of this? What is a college, if they want to get involved, what do they need to? They're going to have to ask for money somewhere?
Sure. No, that's a good question. So, we do have a fairly flexible model when it comes to integrating our emerging tech and IT associate programs on campus, what we would look to do is, depending upon the type of program we put in place, certain times if there is a corporate sponsor being involved, they might be subsidizing it. But then really we have just the cost to take our certificate or certification exam, just based upon what that is. And then and just depends upon the model. If we end up using ISACA instructors to develop the instruction, or if the community college itself is teaching the course. So those that are interested, I'm happy to connect with them and provide them an overview on what the pricing might be for a specific program.
Well, we're familiar with a lot of different certification providing groups. And
Yeah.
sometimes the curriculum's free, sometimes the faculty need to pay for training. In most cases, students do have to pay for their certification exam. And so,
Correct. Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty typical. Or do you, I mean, is there a cost of college per student to get involved in the actual training part?
You mean to become like a student member? A student membership, I believe, might be something as low as $25 a year. I need to just general student membership. So that I believe that's the annual cost for a student membership. But that's not for obviously the certification, but just to become a student member.
So even if they're not offering the students specific courses, they can still become student members and associate with the chapters and that sort of thing, and use this as an outreach to industry.
Yes, actually, for example, in the San Francisco chapter, because we would like to really be part of those students and maybe have the new generation. We have some programs, and this time we can talk about maybe give them free membership, or just maybe at the beginning or maybe throughout. And actually, I'm going to propose even to have maybe some scholarship that has to be given. So some chapters will be offering some specific based on, what they can also afford. And,
Correct.
And then as Ajay saying, there's that basic membership fee. And then maybe from the chapters end, we can supplement that by maybe waiving it or shouldering it from the chapters.
And to Anjali's point, anybody, if if we form, if we're working with a department at a community college, whatever model we put in place, usually the student membership is just automatically waived based upon that. So that is the model that we go towards, because it's $25. It's a nominal amount, and we just integrate it in. So
and for us, we found that we like to have them volunteer, and then based on the volunteer hours, we will, defer the student membership fee. That way, it ensures that the student actually participates, right, and is involved, right, and actually has benefit from their membership.
Well,
yeah, I just want to add to that. This is Anisha from Silicon Valley. So we actually reimburse, I think it's $20 of the 25, because we want to make sure that they are interested. So they would pay 25, but we reimburse 20, and we do that for a number of students. And also we are, we heavily engage them in getting involved with our chapter. So, they're interacting and volunteering on our monthly events. Of course, we are remote these days, so it's a little bit challenging from that viewpoint. But yeah, we're constantly in touch with them. And also research competition and other activities that they have that we sponsor as well.
So Steve, actually, some of the benefits, maybe an indirect, aside from maybe the educational actual technology knowledge or some, is to enable this, especially the ones who are still students at this point, the leadership capability to grow them, and also really be networking with a lot of different people in addition to the educational opportunities. So really building you up, your confidence, your exposure. I think those are the indirect or maybe soft benefits.
I think it's incredible. I mean, I look for opportunities for our students to engage with business a lot. And, after a while, I got over being nervous when I meet people, but a lot of our students are nervous, and the first time it's kind of like, what do I do? What do I say? And I forget that. But it's great that you guys are offering this outreach. And I think that the mechanism for getting ISACA networking groups and our college students together is through our faculty and our deans. And we can provide contact information and to them through our network and our distribution and through this program right here. But would that be your advice, AJ and Anjali, to just go ahead and contact the local chapters, or you, AJ?
Yeah, I would, if there's interest in like setting up a student group or those things, I think working with our local, local chapter in conjunction with ISACA Global, if a university is interested in learning more about like our workforce development, our academic programs on campus, I'd probably be the best initial contact, and then I'd collaborate with the local chapter in that area on that opportunity.
Now, you have a giant hole in San Bernardino, Riverside, Inland Empire. I mean, you got to get a chapter there, because I mean, I look at where the students are and I see where the growth is and I see where the positive attitude about business is. And if you're not in the Inland Empire, you're missing like a whole lot of growth. You got any plans for that after I said that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it comes to, I don't know if James, what if the LA chapter or what area touches the Inland Empire. If
I know that Orange County has members from Inland Empire, and obviously because of the pandemic, we've been able to connect with them more effectively because we're doing a lot more virtual events. So our plan has been to continue to be a partial virtual chapter indefinitely. We've put the infrastructure together. We've got the programs. Our speakers are aware of it. So to service that area, we plan to continue to service that irrespective of whether we start doing in-person events. But obviously, setting up a chapter has always been a challenge because it requires a group of volunteers to get together and form the chapter, create the board, put together the bylaws, et cetera, and that is a significant commitment. What we have seen is some universities have created university chapters, which have been amazing, and we've partnered with them. And that is an option that I think has also been very successful.
So it's possible for a community college to establish a chapter and have that be the beginning point.
So the student groups aren't actually chapters, they're groups. And then our chapters are formal chapters with entities. So, but as yes, but it could starting a chapter, a genesis could potentially come from a university in theory or a community college in theory. Yeah.
And so I'm with the LA chapter. I'm a board member and I head up the academic relations committee, and the LA chapter is definitely reaching Inland Empire. And as Jason mentioned, with all of us being virtual now, I'm just sending out the announcements to my students of what I'm getting from any of the chapters that I think would be of relevance for them, because nobody's charging for the virtual meetings. And so as an instructor, I've partnered with ISACA to sponsor activities or events that we're doing on the campus to further students' knowledge, but also connection to industry. We've also done a career night to help them practice how to interview and put a resume together and network with individuals. And also, ISACA is great about bringing speakers into the classroom. And the students seeing how this works in industry or maybe a potential career path they hadn't considered previously is tremendous. So I wholeheartedly agree in partnering with the professional associations and also promoting the certifications as well.
Well, thank you. That's very good to know. And you're with the LA chapter, right?
That's right.
One of the things that we do with the universities is maybe one of the board members will come in and be a guest judge on an assignment where there's a presentation element to it, so that the students will get up and do their presentation to the class, either as an individual or as a group, but we'll also sit in and provide individual feedback. And it's, so that's kind of a free, easy, I did that at Long Beach recently, and it was a great opportunity to, meet some students.
Well, I tell you, this has just opened up a whole world of possibilities, and I think we could go on and on. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up right now, but we'll be archiving this on our website, edited form with a transcript and the presentation slides. We'll probably follow up with an article in our newsletter to get out to all the community college and all of our, we have about 2,000 to 3,000 ICT faculty in the community college system to get our newsletter. And so we really would like to promote this. We think it's a good example of how to connect with industry for our students and for our faculty and everybody else. So I want to thank you all, AJ, for putting this together. A phenomenal job, even coming from the cold, wintry Chicago area. And of course, Jason, John, Anisha, Trin, and Anjali, thank you, and Anna as well. Terrific presentation. I just can't thank you enough. And have a wonderful week.